Welcome to the most ultra scuffed stream of all time. I can't even begin to convey how much has gone wrong here.
Subscribed with Prime. They've subscribed for 49 months and says, "The OmniDrive is all powerful by your command."
Nagalak, thank you for the Prime sub and for 49 months. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's start with the big one. It's not hot anymore. So this is a light bulb, and it had an idea, and that idea was fire. So I was sitting at my desk, and I smelled something weird. At first, I thought it might have been the AC, because that had just kicked on, but it turned out that just blew the smell into my face. I had an idea to leave the room and then come back so that I could clear my senses. Came back, smell was stronger, and then as I was narrowing in on the smell, this started arcing. Cool. So, yeah, that is ultra super duper dead. I would open it because I think it would be cool, but you know what else is cool? Not cracking the tube and filling the office with mercury vapor. So, no. I won't be doing that. But, That is one of
Subscribe with Prime.
these
They
lights.
subscribe for 12 months, currently on a 7-month streak. And says 1 year. Yay. End of line.
Placeful, thank you for the Prime sub and for 12 months. Hold, that's one of them. That's one of them numbers. I keep getting stuff stuck to my hands. Brain. It's just this. 12 months. Thank you, Playful. I appreciate that. Oh man. Yeah. So instead, you'll notice there's still light that direction. It's now using my like actual real proper lights. These are the expensive fancy pants ones, and yeah, they're not as easy to put up there, and they don't work as well, and I'm not really crazy about it. And if I leave them up there, then I can't film anywhere else. So now I'm gonna have to be constantly taking them down, putting them back up until I buy more lights. So now I absolutely must buy lights. Here's the next thing. Let me just check. I think I heard my
Belgium have joined. End of line.
Ben, hello and welcome everyone. Let's just see. Get techtangents.net and oh, it might actually be back. I thought, oh, you know, the reason I wanted to do the title of the video.
They subscribed for 40 months and said sorry for the late raid, was vamping with nonsense and it didn't go well.
Oh, no, everything's going fantastic over here. It's going to be so much of a change of pace. Oh, like you wouldn't believe. Ben, thank you for the 40 months. I appreciate that. I was trying to update GitLab.
Subscribe with Prime. They subscribe for 2 months and says money for lights TECHTA 5 NYANWIN 1. End of line.
Decimator, thank you for the Prime sub and for 2 months there. I appreciate that.
Fallout subscribed at tier 2. They subscribed for 51 months, currently on a 51-month streak. End of line.
Follow X, thank you for the tier 2 sub there.
With Prime.
Oh, gosh.
They subscribed for 47 months and says 47. Come on, count that Mr. Matt Brain. End of line.
That sounds hard, except I can cheat for that one. Follow X, thank you for the tier 2 sub and for, okay, this one, 51 months. I appreciate that. And Majenko, thank you for the Prime sub. See, I can cheat. That's 48, which means that is 47. So thank you for the 47 months. I remember the big ones, so yeah. Anyway, you missed a bed and the office almost burnt down. Then the next thing. So, I decided to update GitLab because I want to be done with GitHub.
Subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 15 months, currently on a 15-month streak. And says that one is also easy. End of line.
It is. Thank you, Swarm, for the tier 1 sub for 15 months.
47S subscribed with Prime. They've subscribed for 29 months. And says woo to insert number here months. End of line.
G-Pin, thank you for the Prime sub.
And subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 48 months, currently on a 47-month streak, and says show us 48 again. End of line.
G-Pid, thank you for the Prime sub and for insert fingers here. Generic Sweeter, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 48 months. I appreciate that. Lights flickering? No, that was these. These ones are different. See, the fronts were CFL. Those were LED. The LEDs were the ones that were dying, and then the CFL just totally died. Yeah. Have it as get.techtangents.net. Yeah, it already exists. So here's the thing. I've had a GitLab server running at get.techtangents.net for over a year now. The problem is I have not used it in over a year now. And it was incredibly out of date. And it turns out GitLab is one of those really stupid Docker service container things where you must do incremental updates constantly, and I did not know this, and it's really bad. So I'm gonna have to do like 8 different updates between there. So I've already done like 4 or something. I don't know. I think I'm up to 1.18.5 is what I just rebooted it to, which means I can go up to 1.18.8 now, or is it 7? No, it's 7. I have to do up to 7. So so I'm actually going to go do that before we start on this proper, so that I can run in the background while we work on this, because the goal is to get all of my primary development happening on GitLab and then have that set up to push to GitHub. So if people want to collaborate, they can use GitHub as a front end, make like a PR. I'll download the PR, apply it to GitLab, and then push it back over to GitHub, which is probably going to mess up the like whole association merge whatever like contributors nonsense. I don't know.
Subscribe for 9 months, currently on a 1-month streak, and says weep weep. And a line.
Lopsick, thank you for the Prime sub, and for 9 months. I appreciate that. Or Lepostic. Oh my gosh, my brain. I am just that. Just switch to Gidia or Forge Joe? Nah. There was a reason that I didn't use those. GitLab definitely gels more with what I want. Mostly Forges can do periodic sync pulling. Yeah, so here's how that works. No. You can have them set up to either pull or push. So what I have to do is, for everything I've updated in the last year, which thankfully isn't that much, I'm gonna have to go set them all to be a pull repo to pull whatever changes I've made, and then switch them to be a push repo so all the new changes get pushed over. It's weird. Is there no alternative to GitLab? No, there's plenty. It's fine. It's just that's the one that I'm using. So, oh my gosh, it's so bad. Remind me why I should use Linux again? I mean, this has nothing to do with Linux. You can use Linux without being a software developer. It helps a whole lot, and becoming a Linux user may lead to you becoming a software developer just for kicks. But
subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 50 months. And a line.
Spyro the Proto, thank you for the tier 1 sub there, and for 50, that's this many months. I appreciate that. Thank you guys all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it, especially when I'm gonna have to drop like a grand on lights. That's, ugh. That sucks. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the real problem is that I don't have any kind of automatic updates enabled on my Docker management whatever thing. So yeah, it's on me. Don't worry about that part. The part about how GitLab is stupid and you can't just update and it can't figure out how to update, that part's on them. But on the other hand, I could have been, you know, actually being smart and updating things. I will say Nextcloud. Now that one's just stupid. The way that updates is insane. It's a dice roll every single time I go and update Nextcloud. Anyway, feel less guilty about delays on that other thing we were talking about. Yeah. I don't know if I want to pursue that right now, so consider that on hold. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you'd just be hosting it in Docker for Windows, which just pretends to be Linux underneath. So all right, speaking of Windows. One moment. Hold on. Hey, look, it's me. Just, did that do it? No. Wake up, keyboard! There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's Windows.
Tier 1. They've subscribed for 31 months. And says this is like 30 months. And a line.
Go catch it. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. And for 31 months. I appreciate that. Okay, so actually we have to use Windows for the reason that I accidentally slammed it down onto yeah. So here's the thing. Today's objective, all right, is to flash the firmware of 2 optical Blu-ray drives. So that's what I actually want to do today. So I've got over here the whatever the exact same ones are that are in the CD robot. I have a 4th drive.
CHEER 100 hello, and please ignore me collapsing in the corner.
Yeah, no kidding, Chloe. That's how. If I could do that while also still being on camera, I would. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the drives. So I got 2 drives. So the bottom one is exactly the same as the ones that are in the CD robot. Also, Chloe, thank you for the 100 bits. I didn't actually say it. The top drive is whatever that slim drive one is that everybody wants. I accidentally bought it by coincidence. It's WPNB40N52B, whatever. So both of these should do OmniDrive, and they should be able to rip. Now, the bottom drive has been flashed with the make him
360 SICHER 100.
Hello, Cleveland. I am not a rock star, but I can pretend to be one if you'd like. It would be by your command.
Now I have Dr. Worm stuck in my head. I'm not a real drummer, but I am a real worm. I am an actual worm. Go Gadget, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay, so, no, OmniDrive, that's it, not Libre Drive. I don't know what Libre Drive is. I only know that OmniDrive is like firmware, but maybe more better, or I don't know. Anyway, so the bottom, the 2 drives there had the micro USB ripped off, so I just solder it back. Oh my gosh, well, I bought mine brand new. I had a feeling that Blu-ray drives are going to get the axe, and then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to buy this thing, that slim drive, just to, have for giggles. And then it turns out that's the one they still make. They still make those. People post about buying those at like Best Buy with manufacture dates in like March of this year. So they are still making Blu-ray drives. We didn't all have to like run out and do whatever. Anyway, bottom drive has the Make MKV modified firmware version 3.10 on it, which is going to complicate this. The top drive is unfirmware modified, and I'm really looking forward to modifying the firmware because it has that whatever stupid disk rip slowdown thing is that makes it rip CDs at like 2x speed when you constantly send it MSS frame reads. So, yeah. Yeah, OmniDrive is new game system compatibility hotness. Yeah, so I don't really care about ripping UHD Blu-rays, honestly, all that much. But yeah, we're doing them both. And we're doing OmniDrive because I had someone say that they were able to use CDR-DAO with the OmniDrive firmware. So I don't know what all it changes, but maybe it'll make it so that I can use CDR-DAO with the Redumper firmware flash drives, because that was the reason that we used this drive firmware, was specifically for Redumper. So OmniDrive will still be compatible with Redumper. It will add compatibility for that slim drive because I don't think I could flash that before, but maybe I could. I don't know. I didn't look into it that much because that whole side is like 75% all about piracy and like 25% all about people wanting to charge you $40 on a forum to like email you a binary that they don't legally have access to. And it's like, it's a whole weird thing, like just, bleh. So it sucks. So long story short, I think maybe we have everything to do this today to flash those drives. Now, the part about Windows, look, it's Windows. Ugh. So we've got the test bench out because this is how we flashed the drives last time. The last time we did this, it was because that was the only way. This time, it's because it's the only way that isn't utterly insane. So I have looked into the Linux tools. Fun fact, they care so little about the Linux tools that they're broken and they just haven't fixed them for multiple updates. If you download the newest version of Make MKV, which has the SDF tool that you need for flashing the drive, it just pegs one core at 100%, probably doing no ops or something, and then just stays there forever. So you have to go and find an older version of Make MKV, which they don't host on their own website, and then try and get that compiled, and then, which works great when you run Ubuntu since it's, old, then you have to use that Linux tool, but oh my gosh, is it a complete nightmare to make that work. So Windows people, they just have a GUI, because Windows people, sometimes they really need their hands held through processes like this. And you know what? When you gotta like do multiple drive flashes and encoding and all that kind of stuff, and you got like one shot or you brick the drive, some hand holding can be nice. So we're gonna use Windows 10, and we get to use the newest version of Make MKV because that will allow us to, they actually care about that, unlike Linux. So yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You flash that drive with Libre Drive. Yeah, I've not messed with Libre Drive. I don't know. So, okay. Oh my gosh, I can't even go over how much stuff has just gone wrong today. The alcohol bottle spilled over, and now the entire office smells like alcohol, and it's like a giant stain on the bench. I think I lost a letter that someone sent me because it got like soaked in the isopropyl, and it's just the paper's tearing apart. I had my tools for the what you call it, probes and oscilloscopes, the little bin for that just whoop, fell back behind the desk because I had to mess with the wiring. Oh yeah, I'm surprised the internet's working because I had to move the LTE modem. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Can I kindly ask if what today's stream is about? In theory, maybe, hopefully, it's about updating the firmware on those two optical drives using this computer to be able to rip CDs. New fiber line, that was at home. It has not happened at the office. And yeah, at least it's all sanitized now. Yeah, dries really quick. Really? Not that quick, actually. It's still there. That might be because it like revitalized whatever goo is on top of the mat. So anyway, alcohol 120 still usable. Ripping CDs is a very, very complicated subject that I don't really want to get into the full technical reasons of, but no. I'll just state it has never been the fully best solution. Although I think if you have one of the GD-ROM capable drives, that's still actually the best way to do it, but that's a different story. Anyway, are we done? Is that everything? Can I stop losing my mind now? I think we might be okay. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. So we got the drive, the machine. So I'll explain this really quick. This is my, let's not murder this monitor. This is my Haswell i5, maybe it's test bench computer.
100 if the office gets fiber, the shout of joy by Shelby will be audible by Belgium at Matt Jenko, Tech, Helen Crop, and myself.
End of line.
Yeah, he won't. You see, the fiber won't be necessary because I'll be able to just scream so loud of the joy that you will hear it. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, the whole goal today is to write the firmware to those flat optical drives utilizing that computer doodad. There we go. Okay. So here's what I want to do. I'm just going to sit off screen for a moment. One moment, webcam. I think that's correct. Yes. Hello. I'm going to go start the next GitLab update procedure. Let me make sure the current one actually worked. It did. And then we'll start doing Make MKV firmware updates. Oh my gosh. Dude, this has been the stupidest, longest day. Extra bonus fun thing. So at one point I ran out of water in my water crock, and I'm not a complete idiot, so I turned off the things, the cooler and heater. So I put the water back on, but I forgot to turn those back on because, dumb. And I went to go make a ramen right before stream so that I'd have had something to eat because I didn't have like a lot of time, and then the water cooler didn't have hot water. It's been a great day. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe it. It's been so amazing. All right, let's get started. Man, Windows, let's make the first thing we do here, disabling the power off monitor. Oh my gosh, just give me control panel. I don't even know. Power and sleep settings. Okay, so I'm going to give you all a fair warning, okay? I'm probably going to complain a lot about Windows. I'm not actually looking for solutions unless I directly ask for a solution. I'm just going to say words that are disrespectful of Windows, and that's just because I have to, because I won't be able to resist. Okay. Screen, never, I don't have a scroll wheel. There we go. That'll work. When plugged in, no, don't go to sleep. You are a test bench. You stay on forever. Okay, there we go. All right. Can we get dark mode? No. Okay, so we currently have a Make MKV installed.
100.
We know if you ask for a solution, it's copy. Copy is
Oh,
a solution
yeah.
by
Yes.
your command.
Chloe, thank you for the 200 total bits. I didn't catch the last one. Hey, look at Tiles. You guys remember Tiles? It's almost like Windows 8. Isn't that so cool? Anyway, so this currently has Make MKV older version. I can't tell what version it is because, you know, why would they want to tell me that? So we're just going to update this first. So I've downloaded a bajillion files to try and make this work. I can't, like, that's all small and really far away. I'm sure it's fine, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Sure, just do things. Okay. It's important to leave Windows on stock settings to show maximum disrespect. Yes. Also, I don't want to go and look and try and find it. Okay, so let me look up OmniDrive. Let's see if that gets me there. It does. Okay, perfect. Okay. Has GitLab finished updating to the next version? Clocks aren't real. They can't hurt you. Okay, GitLab is very much updating still in the background. Okay. Okay. Let's just do... Okay, that finished. Updating. Run, make MKV. I don't know. I feel like this is one of those... I'm just going to reboot because I don't trust Windows ever. So I'm just going to do... Oh, I shouldn't have held Shift. Restart Shift means something different. I'm used to holding Shift to have it not save the kernel. You know, just turn off whatever. I can reach a power button. Okay. There we go. Okay, there we go. That is the local time just 5 minutes behind? No. It's probably UTC plus 7. No, because it's like, that's actually more. I don't know why it's UTC plus 9. Or actual UTC. I don't know, whatever, man. Brain cranky. All right. For me, it is local time, but you aren't UTC, are you? This is 9:24. That doesn't make sense. So what ends up happening, I'll explain this. There's a legitimate reason why it's like that. Linux sets the BIOS clock to UTC and then does the offset in software. Windows sets the BIOS clock to local time, and then they constantly fight about it. So if you're dual booting, then you have that fun. You can set Windows, I think, to just stop updating the BIOS clock constantly. It's super annoying. Anyway, this is my system where I have the SSD cartridges for swapping between Windows and Linux, so that's why it's like that. Europe is an hour ahead of usually UTC 2 during summer. And then that almost makes sense. Okay, so... Alright, I was going to show this already. So, this is OmniDrive. You don't actually download it from here. They tell you how you can you can use the firmware and then patch it and all that stuff. That's just smoke and mirrors. Don't worry about that. OmniDrive archive. Because the reality is, you go here, and then I think they have it here, yeah. So, because I have literally no idea where you get these files. I tried so hard to try and find. There we go. Okay, I'm back from mute. I didn't intend to mute myself. Anyway, don't worry about that. I'm sure it's fine. I tried to find so many different firmware versions so that you could actually like flash this. So there's a bunch here that are for the different drives, and then there's some here that are apparently off by like 1 byte from all the ones that they actually want, but because they're the German firmware, which, by the way, why is there German firmware for a Blu-ray drive? Is it the region lock byte? Is that it? Because it's not like you can ever read anything from the firmware, so it's not going to be in German. Anyway, and then there's the whatever all you need firmware pack that doesn't have anything I need. And then there is the MK firmware pack from whatever nonsense. Shout out to Trickster for, I don't know if they are intentionally hosting that or not, but they are hosting that because I couldn't find it anywhere else. So this is the repository. Nope, I don't, that's not, oh yes, this is the entire archive.org page, for everything. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing it's the region code byte, but that's all I got. So, but we have one more problem, so we'll get to that in a moment. German being weird, special media rights control, but it's literally 1 byte. That's all that's different in the firmware. You still host it? Gave you a link last time? Oh. Okay. Allegedly, there's an all drives firmware pack. True, there is, allegedly. It's not in there. These are not in there. Because they want very specific versions. They want 1.0 for this drive, the slim drive, and then they want 3.2 for the chunky drive. No idea why. So, yeah. All right. I was trying to show you one thing. Hold on. I was trying to show you, not that. That's a DVD Blu-ray drive. That's it. They want 1.0 for the slim drive, 3.2 for the fat drive. So that's what they're trying to do. So, you just grab the pre-compiled ones from here, from archive.org, and then the directions here will tell us how to do this. So, if you're flashing this, we will be, and if you're flashing not that, I do love that this is an if-else, then we do this. Fun thing about this is apparently we're going to need a particular firmware that we flash, and then we redo it, and then we flash it again. So we have to flash it twice. I don't quite understand what the deal is with that, so that's fun. But yeah, we're going to do this one first, though. So let's go through the directions. Guessing you have 100 tabs open on your home machine. About this, that will be incomprehensible in a week. So I don't do that. Yeah, that's not how it works. If there's something that I want to save, I use this crazy concept called bookmarks. And then I save them to there, and then when I want to bring the bookmarks back, I can go into a folder And then if you have like a whole context folder, you can right click the whole folder. I don't have any bookmarks here because why? You can right click that. Let's here, hold on. My Hacky VJ project. Okay. Why is that not showing up there? Bookmarks. Is it because it's here? Oh, that's weird. I don't know why that one's not showing. Anyway, you can right click a folder in bookmarks, then open them all. So yeah, no, I don't use tabs like that. I don't understand how people use a single linear sorting solution for that, actually. So yeah, on this, I'm just gonna pull this out and then pull out, hold on, let me do this and then this and then this. And then let's see, is GitLab alive? Yes, it is. That means it's time for me to apply the next version of GitLab. Okay, so let me see. I just did 8.10. Okay, so 8, 8, 10. So now that means I can probably do, let's try 8, 9. So here's what I'm having to do to update GitLab. I'm having to go through the Docker Hub list of all this stuff. By the way, why are they called tags? You have multiple tags on a thing. The whole point of tags is for categorizing with multiple things. So you don't want one tag. That would be maybe a label or an ID. But no, they call them tags for some inexplicable reason. Anyway, yeah, so I just did 8, 8. So we'll pick, let's go 8, 10, because I don't trust them for squat. So edit, save, up, and then I go, actually I can't show you that. I go here, and then, oh, actually this is one of the few smart things. Yeah, that's safe. The environment variables are worthless here. Then we go repull and redeploy. Yeah, now it'll update. Whee! Okay, so I'm going to stuff that off to the side. Okay. 70 matrix LED display for the MCA postcard. Ouch. I'm just going to hope someone makes a, like a modern recreation one. Look at Mr. Professional. You're bothering these bookmarks. Yeah. Okay. So, I have these files already on the other computer. I don't have the directions. So here, I'm not going to be bringing the directions back constantly. So if you want to know what the directions are, take a screenshot now or go to the OmniDrive site so you can follow along. That'll be it. So, okay, let's go back to, there's a cable in the way preventing me from clicking where I want to go. This. Okay. So back to Windows. Alrighty. So we're going to run the SDF flash tool. Actually, let me double check the steps. Okay. Download SDF flash tool, download OmniDrive, ensure that your compatible drive is connected to PC, no disk is inserted. I did actually have to remember that because I accidentally brought Alan Parsons on air because I was trying to use that to test if CD or DAO still doesn't work, and confirmed it still does not work. So if your drive is not thin drive, external USB, you can flash directly. Okay, run SDF tool. My favorite part about this is how they don't really tell you whether or not this is acceptable. When you've already, oh, why is it not, they don't actually put a menu link for this. Okay, cool. Let's just go digging in program files, I guess. SDF tool. 60, no. Okay then. Well, I didn't really want to flash it anyway. Why no work? It's a CLI program? Nah, but there's a GUI one too. Where's the GUI one? Hold on. SDF tool GUI. I want to go literally anywhere except for the make MKV wiki or forum. Here. Join me in waiting for this forum to load. So exciting. Do you have the GUI one? Yes, Yen, I do. Yeah, I'll take it. Easily. Yoink. Dumb question. Does this actually have what you need? Because I swear it doesn't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's lacking, well, both of these, isn't it? AKMKV, firmware, all you need pack, unless you've added to this. So the Asus one is 310. That's wrong. The LG 5 1/4 one is unspecified as 1.02. That's wrong. Not for OmniDrive, that's what I thought. Okay. All right, we're on the same page then. Where did it go? That's not the thing. Did I not actually download it? Did I put it on the root? Yeah, I did. Okay, let's put it there. Okay. All right, thank you, Yin. I really appreciate that. Oh, it loaded. Whoa. I wonder how many other people click on that link. I don't know. Sorry, Yin, but thank you for your service. Okay. Dude, I love this Cooler Master case. This is one of my best Goodwill finds ever. Surprised the site didn't time out. I know. Did that not work because it's zipped, or is Windows doing that stupid, oh, we're going to pretend that it's just files and it unzips it in the background? All right, while that's going on, let's see, is GitLab alive? Nope, GitLab is very dead still. Rip GitLab. Maybe, hopefully, it's actually booting and we'll be okay. Let's see. Logs. Yeah, it's doing a whole bunch of nonsense, so I'll just let it be in the background. Okay. This didn't work, so let's maybe just extract it. Oh, wait, do I have to put this in? Wait a minute. I got an idea. Close window, shift, right click. Excuse me, this works. Why are you not working? Control right click? Did they retroactively sneak an update in and then disable shift right clicking? Dude, why does shift right click not? Win button up arrow? What does that do? Holy moly, that's not what I wanted. I assume it's hidden behind this. Behind the webcam. Right click the thumbnail? Is that how you do it? Right click. No, see, it's not letting me do it. That's what I wanted to go to the move thing, but it's not letting me. Oh, I bet. Hold on, watch. It'll work on this. There it is. I think it's one of those stupid, like, mini dialogues that doesn't have, yeah, okay, so there it is. It's one of those stupid mini dialogues that doesn't have a real title bar. That's what it is. I also forgot that I could just hide that. Okay. Please select drive. It's the only drive in the system. Alrighty. If I remember correctly, I cannot dump the firmware of this drive completely. So I have already firmware, drive firmware, backup, and I've already done the weird tar dump that is useless. So there we go. Run as admin required. Does it say that? I mean, I can. That would make sense. So why does everything about this whole setup have to be so extremely cursed? Like, nothing about the make MKV things just makes sense. Like, why doesn't this use the Win32 toolkit? Okay. All right, now I'm finally caught back up. I'm going to go back over the directions. Let's see. Did GitLab... Oh, GitLab's alive again. Hold on, I'm going to give GitLab the next version. 8.11. Oh my gosh, there's so many versions. Okay, 8.11, 4C, and then I think I'll actually get to put latest after this, and it will be crazy, and then it will work. Pull and redeploy. Okay, now let me read the directions here. Okay, run SDF tool, select your drive in the drop-down, ensure right firmware is selected. Okay, right firmware. On the bottom drop-down, select the downloaded OmniDrive firmware bin file using 1.35. There's no need to toggle the encrypted option. It'll be done automatically. Okay, so we're going to go to desktop, make MKV, OmniDrive, no, make MKV, firmware, OmniDrive, and this is big chunky drive. And it is this one. Okay. Based on a tool that Asus wrote for flashing drives. Ask a random shot. Why did they have... Whatever. That makes more sense, because they were running on... I don't know, whatever weird knockoff operating... I don't know. Okay. Press start, high DPI screens. Oh, I think that might have been one problem I had with this at one point. Okay. What monster wrote this GUI? Why does drop-down open a dialogue? That's a good question. Okay. Okay, I think we just hit right. We just go. So, go. All right, please don't brick my drive. I will be very sad. Here's the worst part about this. We gotta do this 3 more times. Because we have to do it for every drive that's in the CD robot. The Windows Vista load bar. Okay, so I think it's done. I'm just going to turn the computer off because I'm a giant coward. I don't want to unplug it. Because the directions say, and then unplug the drive. But nah, I'm good. All right. Reboot computer. And we can all look at the awesome MSI Dragon BIOS logo. You need second recovery flash. So this is not the thin USB drive. Look at it. It's awesome. Gaming motherboard. Hold on. I'll show you the thing. Okay. If your drive is not slim drive, you can flash directly. On the drop down, pick OmniDrive firmware, press start. After it has been written and flashing is fully complete, wait 10 seconds after it says 100%. I might have done that. Close SDF tool, power cycle, the drive, or turn your PC off for internal drives. Your drive should now be compatible. So there is no second step. That is only for the slim drives. So we will be doing that next. Yay. Oh, here they're starting with the German one. I'm hoping the feature that it supports is working with CDR-DAO, but we'll see. Okay. All right. You get an error like flashing? No, okay. One moment. I just want to see if GitLab died again or not. It's still cranky. I've never... Wow, it's a big, complicated update, apparently, going from 1810 to 1811. I'm glad I actually did that one. All right. Cool. All right, back to... Actually, what do we want to do now? Windows? Let's just test Windows. So, button click over here. Boop. Okay. Hold on, I gotta type in my ultra secure, stupid Windows password dialog, missing the first thing. If you now open Make MKV, does it say Libre Drive? I got no clue, let's find out. Make MKV, bingo. All right. The application version is too old. Hold on. No one steal my key, okay? This is definitely my key for sure. I didn't get it from Reddit. Wait, get back here. Okay. Register, boom. Open. What? Cancel. License key. What do you mean invalid? And do I have a space or something? Okay, there we go. Boom. Hooray, we're all good now. Did I just close it or something? Hold on. It's not a fully licensed key. It's just the current beta key. For those of you who don't know, MakeMKV is the weirdest software ever. It's perpetually in beta. And then you have to constantly go and get a new key in order for it to work. I don't understand. It's so weird. I'm sure I could type stuff in the start menu, or I could just go click and scroll down like 4 inches and then it's there. All right, Libre Drive information enabled. It's got thingamajigs there, so sure. What do you mean original firmware? Or you can buy a key and it never bugs you again? I would be inclined to do that, but the website would have to work for that to happen. I don't know. I don't actually really use MakeMKV. I just use the firmware flashing tool for the thing. So, yeah, firmware type original unpatched. Maybe it's because it doesn't have the MKV modifications. Maybe that's why. Or maybe it doesn't recognize this version of the firmware. I don't know. We can try it with Redumper. I'm not doing that on Windows though. I got better things to do than put more time and effort in using Windows. So we'll shut this down. I'm gonna disconnect this drive and then we're gonna connect the slim drive and then we'll pull our hair out using the slim drive. Yay. All right. So there's one SATA boy, and now we're gonna disconnect it. That's right. All drives can be external drives if your cables are long enough. All right. So now we just put this here instead. It's got this really clever read stupid USB cable that needs 2 power plugs. Sometimes I swear it's not necessary, and then other times I swear it is. It's very stupid because it's just for more power. Because they were too cheap to use USB 3, even for power, in what year was this? 2024. Come on. Why? Anyway, so there's that. Turn the computer on. Let me make sure there's no media in it. Wake up. Wake up. There we go. Oh, there was media in it. Okay, that was good. Oh, good. Whew. I wouldn't want to lose my copy of Network. All right, let's go back to, actually here. Hold on. Okay, does GitLab work? Hey, GitLab's alive! Yay! All right, I'm gonna try setting it to latest now. Let's see what happens. Latest. Commit. Change. Repull and redeploy. Alrighty, here we go. I bet it yells at me to not do that. But we'll find out. Yells at you pretty quick. Oh my gosh, I think it might actually be working. Holy moly. Okay. What about the making sure there's no media in the drive while patching part? Well, that's what I just did. I made sure there's no media in it now. Okay. So, at least you don't need an external power brick. Well, that's kind of why I wish it was... an external power brick would be preferable to the weird high-power USB cable. So instead of needing, you know, an extra cable, I need the exact cable that it came with, and there is no replacement. I would prefer it needing an external power supply. Redumper sounds like medical prep. It uses, yeah, 2 USB-A plugs. Yeah, that's what was showing. So over here, those are the exact same cable. There's one cable coming out of here, and it daisy chains over for more power because it needs 1.8 amps, and it's just violating the USB 2.0 spec to get it. That's why. That's why it's like that. It's super dumb. Okay, first off, let's just double check this actually like boots and works or whatever. All right. I don't have a machine that can provide power to my external drive, so I dumped a twin USB. Yeah, see, it's so stupid. So we grab a soldering iron, change it to a USB-C port, but it's USB 2.0 internally. So if, I don't know if the ports are smart enough to do this, but if they can identify that it is 2.0, it is possible they will negotiate the power availability down to, what, 1 amp or 550 milliamps? I forget exactly what it is. I don't know. All right. So there's all that, but this is the much more complicated step. So let's go through what all we have here. Oh, I didn't explain Redumper. Redumper allows you to use, what's the best way of explaining this? CDs are dumb, and they're stupid, and they're ugly, and I hate them. But they're also kind of crazy and cool, but they're weird. So data can be stored on CDs in all kinds of horrendous ways that you would never even think of, and it makes it really hard to read them completely. You might think, oh, you just rip an ISO. That's definitely the worst option. You can say, oh, rip a bin Q, then that doesn't work with multiple session disks like Blue Books. So the only way you can get close to fully ripping a CD is to just raw read every single byte from the disk. And somehow Redumper does it through some kind of scramble method. I don't fully understand. But it's able to extract the most data possible out of a CD that I have tried so far. So Redumper is for doing ultra ridiculously high precision CD dumps mostly, but it does a whole bunch of other stuff too. Like a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, Aru is there. Aru has other, I don't want to say other issues. Aru is just a different ethos. So, I don't know. So USB-C won't fix about the drive line to everything about power. Exactly. Yeah. Redumper is DD for spin disks. In a way, yes. DD also works at the block level, but hard drives generally only operate at the block level, so it's kind of fine. You cannot use DD for an audio CD. It just straight up does not work that way. Okay, let's make sure we have this file first. So, the Sprech is a Deutsch version of the firmware. Let's see. Make MKV firmware, DE firmware, slim drive. Okay, so I don't have this. What is this directory, though, that this is a part of? Hold on. I want to know more about this. Copy link. Paste. Get rid of the destination. It's just this one file? That's all this is just that, huh? Okay. Like Lizard's Doomsday duplicator but for CDs. Yes, that would be preferable. It would be horrendous though. Oh my gosh. It'd be like 2 terabytes per CD. No, Philip, it's not even possible. That microscope cannot resolve CD pits and lands. So. Also, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how many people comment on the videos, or on that video, saying, I was waiting for you to spin the disc so we could watch the movie. And it's like, you don't realize how fast those discs spin. Like, even if I could spin it, you wouldn't want to watch it that fast, and then I would have to have the light at the angle and strobe it. Oh my gosh, that would be insane. Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, they are not rubbing enough brain cells together for this. They probably just skipped into the video where they saw the fun, pretty colors and were like, oh, I want to see spinny, fun, pretty colors. Anyway. Let me grab this. Totally need to do that, though? But no. CED RPM. 450 RPM.
Laura Kuhn says CHEER 100 in latest news. Streamer Technicus is wanted for tattooing multiple epileptic fits.
End of line.
That's the other thing, is like getting the positioning so perfectly accurate. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the only thing I would be able to do is just rotate it frame per frame and then stitch them together from photographs afterwards, which, no. You know what, Desiac? That is literally minivan idle after I unplug the battery. And if I don't gas it a little bit at lights, then it'll stall as it retrains. All right. Let's do this. So we have that file now. Okay, so run SDF tool, the drop down, write this firmware using something or another. We don't need encrypted. Start, wait for it to flash. Once it fully completes, close the SDF tool, reboot the computer, got it. Reconnect with no disk inserted, run it again, select your drive. Then we pick recover. And then, oh, that's weird. All right, fine. All right, well, yeah, definitely gonna have to pay attention on this one. All right. Oh, some stupid thing used up all the USB ports on the front of the computer. Ugh.
The Torskins subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 51 months, currently on a 51-month streak. And says this time on Tech Tangent, the YouTube comments are stupid and wrong. Also, water is wet. Film at 11. Viewed as a sad displayed back at 1 frame directly on the disk per minute just because YouTube demanded it. Thank you. Drive through.
End of line.
Tater's Games, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 51 months. I appreciate that. I think that's correct. 51 months. Okay, so we just need, I don't even know where this is. Is this the desktop or is this the drive? It's the user's desktop. Okay. So we're going to go to firmware, DE firmware slim drive. And then I'm going to do this. Open, new window, then make MKB, firmware, DE firmware, not desktop. I want slim drive. And then long, complicated name one. There we go. Okay. All right. SDF tool flasher. All right. Hey, look, I remembered the window position, so I didn't have to do weird stuff. No need to reboot with USB. Disconnect USB drive. So I will be shutting the computer off and restarting it. Because Windows is stupid. And I don't want to unplug and replug. So I'm just going to reboot to simplify that. Also, let's see. Is GitLab done? Oh my gosh, it's fully up to date. GitLab, holy moly. Unbelievable. It actually is a slightly different UI. Huh, who would have guessed? So let's see. Drive needs power cycle to reboot. I was going to shut the computer off and then turn it back on. Yeah, that's different. Okay, cool. Also, I found out that this has the stupid, that thing, that people want to put on their resumes or whatever. All right, there we go. Hopefully I didn't leak any keys. All right. I think we're good. Hooray! Actually, hold on. I want you to see how stupid this was. Wait a minute. Okay. Let's look at the commit history for this file really quick. This is how many times I had to change the version of GitLab that I was trying to install today to try and make this work. The first drive is flashed. The second drive has not yet been flashed. So yeah, that was how many versions I tried to walk through today. That was the stupidest process ever. All right. Let's flash this one, and then I will shut the computer off. Yeah, well, that's why I was saying I'm going to shut the computer off. and then I will turn it back on. So, all right, we'll just do that. Okay. So we're going to write firmware to drive that one. Okay, HDST something blah blah. Which version is it reporting? The text is super tiny and the monitor is really far away. WP50B40. Okay, all that looks correct. All right. USB power can still be on when the PC is off. Oh, I see what you're saying. All right, fine. I'll unplug it. Yeah, okay. All right, rereading. Ensure your drive is... mine's WP50, right? Yeah, WP50NB40. WP50NB40. It is, for the record, a complete coincidence that I own a compatible Slim drive. I did not actually buy this drive for this use case. I just bought this drive because I wanted an optical drive that I could have for my laptop. Coincidentally, it happened to be this compatible. You know, I wonder what drive is in the streaming PC. Huh. Okay. Actually, as far as I'm aware, they are about the same price. So the ones that are ultra super expensive are the desktop drives, because people think that they aren't making them anymore, so they keep scalping them. All right. Ensure your drive is doohickey. Check. Run SDF tool. Pick the right firmware option. Okay, right firmware. In the drop-down, that's definitely 100% for sure a drop-down. Pick the DE firmware. Okay. So firmware, DE, slim drive, and then we pick long, complicated name that ends in MK, 103, open. Okay. Thankfully, most currently sold Blu-ray slim drives are just renamed BU40N. Yeah, many are compatible. It's a little more awkward. Make sure you're getting the right one. No drive in the office will be left unflashed after the stream. It's I mean, we could, I should. Somebody like taped lights to the front of the CD robot so that the camera that takes pictures of the discs would look good, and then that makes it really difficult to open the case to access the drives. So they were not really looking to flashing, or not looking forward to flashing those drives. Anyway, press start and wait for it to flash. Okay, and go. Benefit of, plus I was kind of hoping to get some seat time with it. Maybe, you know, just like be sure. No more needing a bunch of tables of this and that, or isn't compatible. Yeah, with flat, yeah. It is kind of funny how it was all Plex Store all the time, and then apparently there was just this one chipset that HGST or whatever made, and it's like, oh, actually though, we could just reprogram that one and it's perfect. Okay, so flash, once it is fully complete, wait 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Close SDF tool and disconnect the drive. Okay. Goodbye. All right. Problem with Plex Store is that they're all IDE. I think there are some... I think there were some SATA ones, and then maybe there are some SCSI ones. The only real reason to get the Plex Store is if you definitely want to do Dreamcast, as far as I'm aware. So, no HP counter for those 10 seconds. By the time I could get the HP counter out, set up, and configured correctly, the 10 seconds would have passed. All right, here we go. Unplugging power. Blep. And then the drive was dead. Wah, wah. All right, and plugging power back in. Okay. Have more adapters connect SATA drives to IDE ports and IDE to SATA ports? No, because going the other direction is a little weird. Most things that you would have legacy carried over IDE to SATA would have just had IDE on them still. There's a very, very long gradual replacement of IDE with SATA. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if this... Actually, I know for a fact this motherboard has IDE headers because this motherboard has a floppy header still, if I remember correctly. This is my old, or new as it gets, or maybe I'm wrong. I swear it did. Yeah, apparently not. Which one is it that has the floppy header still in? I have some motherboard that's newer than you would think that still has a floppy header. I swear it was this one. That. The Shadow Pentium 4 has SATA and IDE. I mean, that's early. Okay. Okay. Reconnect drive. Okay, drive reconnected. You can tell I am super focused on something somewhere here. Okay, so reconnect the drive, no disk inserted. Run SDF tool. Select your drive in the top drop down. Okay. But this time, select recover, and in the pop-up, select the firmware you just flashed. Recover. That one. What a weird program. The bottom drop-down, select firmware to right, and then select the OmniDrive firmware. Just rereading this. Okay. Select the OmniDrive firmware, OmniDrive, Slim Drive, boop. Okay. And then press start and wait for it to flash. Okay. Start. I don't like this, but whatever. Basically combining good parts of two firmwares. Interesting. Okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I think we're good. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to unplug the drive from the front of the computer. And I'm going to move it over to the Linux workstation. And then I'm just going to plug it into my high-power USB hub. Now let's find out if it works with Redumper. All right, so I'm going to put Alan Parsons back in. So this is an audio CD. Good news, it still ejects a tray, so it's not completely brain dead. Okay, so is it going to pop up with stuff? Let's find out. F disk, wait, ls dev sr. So we got 0 and 1, but I have this running. But there's also an internal drive. On air, Desiac. I think it's dead. No, it's not going to be SR1. That's going to eject the internal drive. Or this. It's that. So SR0 is internal drive. Yeah, I think it killed it. That sucks. Hold on, let's go plug it back into Windows. Oh, I was supposed to close SDF tool. I'm sure that didn't matter, though. Okay, so now we've got thing. Okay. Exit. Let me try it on Windows. See what it does. Okay, well, it works. All right. That's weird. I'll plug it onto the front USB ports on the other computer. How about that? That's super weird. Weird. All right, fine, whatever. I don't know why the hub would have been a problem, but I don't, no brain, no brain. Okay, crap, we got a lot of time left. Test. Redumper, right? Dev SR2. I don't remember how to redumper. Help. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of options. Holy moly. Dump. Okay. Dump. Command already provided. Yeah, but you gotta know what drive it is. Jeez. Help. List drive equal this. Okay, cool. It's just that's not it. Drive equal. All right. Okay. So, well, that's interesting. Wait, did it just read negative? Gah! All right, well, I used to have a drive, now it's dead. Ah! The vibration knocked it off the top of the case. All right, well, let's see what... We'll look at the disc. Hopefully it scratched the disc and not murdered the lenses. Factory showroom. All right, well, that gets going. So, for the record, I think this would read at like 2x CD speed before this. So, big improvement. Yeah, it didn't work with CDR-DAO at all. Oh, wait, that was the firmware on this drive, so we'll still have to test that in a moment. All right, so here's what we have to do next. This is the part that sucks. Because you guys want to flash all the drive firmwares, I guess. Jeez, we're going to use the USB adapters, though, because I don't want to deal with this. Actually, do we get risky? Hold on. What do you think about this option? So here's the CD robot, okay? So the CD robot has drives. They're back, they're right. You can't see them at all. It's perfectly blocking all of them, the arm. There, drives. So I could individually, man, look at the really nice felt that I definitely installed on top of the entire surface there. I could unplug all of these and plug them in one at a time, or I can just take the USB cable that connects all of them and plug it into the other computer, and then we can just hope I can keep it straight which one's which. Now, I think on the upside, absolute worst case, we would end up accidentally reflashing one drive with the same firmware over again. So I think it would be probably okay. So I think I could just plug it in that way and then not worry about it. So let's just go ahead and do that, because that'll make life a whole lot easier. All right. Now, the grain of the felt over there is slightly different, and then I didn't install the felt under the things over here, so it may not look as felty over there. The fun part is there is literally felt right here. You flash big drives only once to keep drive letter? Yeah, so I think it'll be okay if I do it this way. All right, so this is the cable for these. All right, so there's that, and I can plug that in to that computer. Boop. And then I turn this on. And then I turn this on. And then I turn it on. Nope, that's 8-inch drives. Okay, so for the record, the disc finished ripping. It did not have any errors or whatever. I'm going to take it out now and see what it looks like. Oh, that's horrible. Ooh. Well, I feel really bad now. You ever have just one of those days? Today is definitely that day for me. That's awful. There's nothing good to reflect here. Yeah, you can't tell in the light so much. It's bad. I brought my flashlight over here. Where'd it go? Oh well. Well, the bigger concern, DZAC, is whether or not it hit the laser into the disc, or if it was like the aluminum part around the laser that hit. It's what What part hit? That's the bigger concern. It's not scratched badly, but it's scratched in the worst direction. Scratch all of the outside half of the disc? Yeah, which does make me think it's more likely to be the metal that hit. So for the record, the other disc is pristine. So the first one was probably not scratched at all. It's a 2-disc set. Anyway, whoa, I didn't realize that. Disc 2, system requirements, 486 DX, 33 megahertz, 8 megs of RAM, Windows 3.1 or later. Wait a minute, what? It's a multimedia CD. Yeah, if I had a surface polisher, I could do that, but I don't have a surface polisher. So, all right, let's see what happens if we can firmware flash all the other drives using the thingamadoodad. I don't know how to turn this on, though. Do I even have a power cable plugged in? There is a power cable. Where is it going? There are 2 cables. I think it's this one. Why am I hearing sound? All right, well, let's see what we got going on over here. F5. Why? Oh, I'm just stupid. Hey, look at it. It's all lit up like a Christmas tree now. Yay, woo. So there's the internal lights and all that fun stuff. F5. So far, it's not showing up on Windows. There we go. That's doodads. Okay, so let's just look at this. I'm going to go through the list one drive at a time. Oh, you know what? I can't see the capture until I do that. So eject. Yep, there we go. That was one. So the middle one, lovely. I'm so happy when they're out of order. And then there's this one. I'll do it this way. And then click. And there we go. Ooh. They did open the same amount. It almost looked like they didn't, but they did. And then there is this one. What if there is a disk? Does it automatically write the contents of the disk as the firmware? Because that would be cool. All right. So there we go. That's all drives recognized. All right. So back to this. I'm just going to close all of these. Not that it matters. Okay. Comments didn't work. Can you give an update about the robot ripper? Followed the story like 6 months ago with the webcam tweaking stuff. For the most part, it's all good. So that was the wrong thing. So it does work. There's nothing wrong with it. Right now we're about to update the firmware that's on the optical drives because those happen to be the exact same drive as this, just with a different faceplate. We just replaced the firmware on this drive with a newer one that's supposed to be able to do, I don't know, something. Maybe work with CDR-DAO. That's one thing we're looking for. But yeah, it works just fine. So there are lights on it now. You can kind of see it sticking there. But yeah, it works. There's not a whole lot more to it. The software I use to drive it, I'm still working on. That's actually my plan for the rest of this weekend, is to work on the software. So exciting. You guys are definitely going to be looking forward to that. So, yeah, I need to work on the software some more. But other than that, it's perfectly fine. But before you forget, right, well, it doesn't matter. I can peel this off now because every single one of them are going to be OmniDrive after this. They're not going to be that. There will be no MKW drives anywhere. I believe in theory, my desktop at home has one of these drives, but I have not firmware flashed it because it wasn't compatible with CDR-DAW, or no, CDR-DAO, and I wasn't really happy about that and not being able to go back. So if this works and we can rip a CDR-DAO after this, I might flash my final drive that's like this as well, but that's currently on stock firmware. Okay, drive, why are these different? Is that just a serial number? I'm just gonna hope that's a serial number. Okay, I'm going back to the directions for this. So writing the software is streaming plans for this weekend, yes. Okay, if your drive is not Slim Drive, run SDL tool, select OmniDrive firmware, click start, and then close it and do the things. Okay. Serial. Wait, what? Serial, yes. Oh, okay. All right, I'm just going to flash the firmware at each drive, bam, 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 and then move on, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to matter. Plus, this setup is a lot weirder. Well, I'll flash the drives, each one after another, and then power cycle the entire unit all at once. So here we go. This, and then OmniDrive, this one, this one. Hey, what do you know? These ones are actually ASUS drives. All right, write non-encrypted firmware. Hopefully this doesn't matter. They're already firmware modified. I don't think it does. I'm just reading through everything one more time. Right, OmniDrive. Okay, there we go. When am I putting it up for a 24/7 ASMR Robot Ripper stream? Yeah, that's never happening. Because there are too many things for me to leave unsupervised like that. Like today, I literally just had a light bulb almost catch fire. Completely unrelated to that. So just in general, no, I'm never going to do a 24-hour hardware stream. That would be a terrible idea. Also, it kind of rips faster than you might think. 200 discs, it might take me longer to set up the full rip queue for all 200 discs than it will for it to just actually rip it. So, it's one of those things where we'll probably just pick some times. We'll send a message if it crashes. I kind of need to be there. Like a fluorescent bulb. The ballast transformer or whatever thing. It didn't have a good time. All right, flashing the next one. Returns with a big plate. Man, Ben, you were really good at dodging that story. All right. Just let a Discord rip that bulb. As long as it wasn't rip the office, I'm fine. It was... Thankfully, that's one of those, there's a reason, I'll say this. There's a reason that I always cut all power. You can just watch the beginning of the stream, Ben, you'll get it then. Or just go look at Discord and the S channel. You'll see the same story then. There's a reason I cut power to everything before I leave. Like those under monitor power switches, they're all over. I don't trust nothing. Okay, let's drive G and go. 10 seconds wait, done. Nah. I'll make moving easier. Yeah. Or are you sure about that? Not exactly gonna have references then. All right. I think we're good. So we're gonna wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Do see the RDAO works now? That would be so sweet. Oh my gosh, I'd be really happy. It's not better, but sometimes I just want to use that. And additionally, it breaking that functionality makes me nervous about other things. So, you know, that's where I'm at with that. Okay. I'm going to exit. I'm going to unplug USB. And then I'm going to click this button. And then I'm going to do power cut. Boop. That was power. Okay. Now, I'm going to plug this into the Linux computer. Actually, I'm going to turn it on first, because it likes that. And then I'm going to plug it into the Linux computer. Boop. And now we'll switch over to that and see how it works. We should be done with Windows now. Grab the fish swimming picture on the way out. They're so... I would be so hard pressed to pick what I would take. I still think it would be the ICC 1600 though. I'm pretty sure that's the thing. Like, if it didn't weigh 1 trillion pounds, it'd be the HP 200, but let's be real, I'm not going to be able to carry that. So it's the ICC 1600. All right. And very soon, actually, something will supersede that. That's the only hint I'm going to give you.
100 in case of fire. The thing to take out of the office is the fire.
End of line.
That seems reasonable. I don't know. Just look for another $7 one on eBay. Yeah. I cannot believe that. That was insane. HP did dirty 5315A frequency counter. Real clicky on off switch. Isn't actually properly off. Oh, that's annoying. Solution wheels for everything. It doesn't help if it starts out on a desk. These are Hydro Thunders are technically on wheels. That's not enough of an answer though. Okay. Eject dev SR 3 million. Okay, 2 top, 3 middle, 4 bottom. Beautiful. That's exactly what I want to see. See, if I turn it on first and then plug it in, they enumerate in the correct order. If I plug it in and then turn it on, they don't. Has it been in the office for years? No. I have not physically laid eyes on it yet. If all the cards work out right, maybe by the end of the month. CO2 suppression system when I start carrying around a pocket oxygen tank. It's like the fire press delete like in Sims 1. 4 patches? Oh my gosh, that's a thing. I have a boxed copy of The Sims. I have had zero desire to play it, but that actually sounds hilarious. Okay, let's delete all of that. Let's pop, you know, let's stick They Might Be Giants in there for giggles. Desiac, I'm going to say this. You won't be able to guess it. You're trying to sneakily ask what it is in the background. You're not going to be able to guess it. Okay. We're going to redumper disk 2 again. Here we go. I don't think that one started negative, and this is the one that actually has the real pre-gap. Is it purple? Man, you really want to try... Go on Facebook, look up Mercury Cougar. I wish. You'll appreciate it. I would rock that thing so hard. Oh my gosh. Animal, vegetable, or mineral? Is it something cool? I'll say this. I think there have been YouTube videos about it before. Let me see. I'm going to guess that there's one channel that has made YouTube videos about it. Just off the top of my head, guessing who it would be. I bet I could guess. But I'm not going to say who, because that really narrows stuff down. Oh, no, there's been more videos than I would have guessed. Way more videos than I would have guessed. I think it's because everybody knows that that is a thing. And not actually from the person I would have guessed. That's hilarious. Okay. Got sidetracked, found clean marauder. Ooh, perfect. Well, actually, I need you to find one that is beat up. It's gotten the break-up baseball bat treatment. That's what I need, because I want to lift the body off of that one and put a town car body in its place. Is it going to send you down a rabbit hole of insanity? Thankfully, I believe there are no peripherals available. Oh, that worked, by the way. Okay, real question now. CDRDAO. Okay, CDRDAO, drive, dev, SR2, is it bin file? Hold on. Okay, a long time. Whatever happened to him? He's just doing his own stuff. YouTube's difficult. I'll just say it that way. But he's fine. And thank you. Give subs to everyone in chat. Oh, that Rich, what? What? Okay. Oh, it's way more complicated of a command. Device drive, and then we just put the talk file. Okay. Cancel this. Let's do test device dev sr2 and then test dot talk. Go. Unable to do hickey. Oh, because I'm terrible typer. Okay. Moment of truth. Can it CDRDAO? I think it's going to. I don't think it got this far before. Not looking good, though. There is a gift 'em all button? That's insane. I think it's not going to work. I think CDRDAO compatibility is still broken. That's really unfortunate. I'm still not going to be able to words. I'm still not going to be able to modify the drive in my desktop at home. The track list displayed correctly. Yeah, it's reading the talk, but it's not reading the actual data. Or I'll see if I can find it. Hold on, I'm not logged in. Facebook tried to block me. Still trying to block me. There we go. Might want this. Let's see. Does that narrow it down? Oh, maybe it's sold. All right, well, I've lost interest in trying to find it since Facebook keeps doing a full screen pop-up. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, this is not working. Dude, that sucks. That's very frustrating. So don't have to worry about this nonsense. You could come join us in this nonsense, Ben. You just gotta get a very expensive, hard-to-find Blu-ray drive that people are scalping, and then use Windows to firmware flash it, and then put it in a machine that you're probably going to end up dedicating directly to that because it sucks for everything else. Yeah, so it's still one way. Flash the firmware and it's Redumper only. That's weird. I don't get it. So there are different drivers that you can specify for CDR-DAO, but I don't think that should be necessary. An expensive drive with nothing fancy to rip in it. Try with a slim drive? That's an interesting point. I have not done that yet. Let's kill all of that. All right, slim drive is... Where did I put it? Probably far away since it made me sad. Oh, there it is. Found it. Why CDR-DAO? Just out of curiosity. It bothers me that modifying the firmware, I don't like that it makes that drive exclusive to archiving. Like, imagine you modified your floppy drive.
CHER 100 keypad was a big sigh.
End of line.
Imagine if in order to use the grease weasel, okay, you had to replace the stepper motor with a linear motor, and then it would sweep through the tracks, reading them instead of stepping, and then you could never use that with a vintage computer again. So it's something along those lines. That once you firmware flash a drive, it is exclusively a Redumper drive. That's the thing that bothers me. And that these drives are expensive and hard to get, and if you want to use them for anything else, then you're kind of boned. So that's, but that's what I don't like. Okay, there it is again. I'll just turn the drive back on so I can get the They Might Be Giants back out. Modifying for flippy disks in one pass. I don't know how that works, but maybe that is a corollary. I don't know.
Pasparatus and subscribed at tier 1. They've subscribed for 4 months and says 4 months of tangents exclamation point.
End of line.
Papa Spiritus, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 4 months. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. Device, that's fair. Okay. It's not like we were using these drives for anything else, really. I have one in my desktop at home that I do use. And there we go, same thing. No longer able to be used with CDR-DAO. In the case of this particular drive, though, I considered CDR-DAO invalid to begin with, though, because it has, like, disk rip protection or whatever. I forget what the name of it is, but it's where it, like, chokes it down. Once it detects you reading sequential bytes, it massively reduces the speed to be just completely unusable. Try a different driver. So it really isn't going to help. The CDR-DAO drivers are basically generic or Plexor, and then all of the other ones are ultra super weird. So it doesn't work. I have tried that already. Yeah, it's not going to be that. And the only reason that you do this is that byte swaps. That's the only reason to have this in there. So with that, you can then play the bin queue directly by mounting it or something. Is the firmware burned in? You can't flash the original firmware to it? I mean, I could, but I'm not going to, like, reflash the firmware every single time I want to try and use the drive for something different. So, once I flash it, I'm just going to leave it there. What is the nature by which CDR-DAO is being hung up? It could be a bug in the software. I don't think it's a bug. I don't think it's fair to call it a bug in this software when it worked with the original firmware. If you make a change in the firmware from stock and then it stops working, that's definitely the external change that made it stop working, not something that is incompatible with CDR-DAO. So it's entirely possible here. Well, actually, I don't see the audio CD showing up there at all. That's curious. I'm going to try unplugging and replugging this. And then without trying to... Matter of fact, I'll just open VLC even. Media, open disk, audio CD, dev SR2, play. Okay, so it works. For some reason, it doesn't show up here. That's weird. Does it show up in the... No, it doesn't show up in the device list. Disks and devices, nothing there. That's super weird. So, it's an audio CD. It shouldn't necessarily show up there, but the way that Dolphin works is it will see an audio CD and then it'll provide like a fuse driver that lets you automatically rip an audio CD by pretending that it's like a folder full of MP3s and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna put the 46,000 persons disk in there just for giggles. CDR-DAO is doing something to bypass default firmware? I don't think so. I've also never had it not work with another drive. CDR-DAO, for the record, sends like SCSI commands, so I don't know. All right, let's see what a data disk does. We'll try and rip the data disk too. See if it's just an audio CD problem. Okay, so we have data disk. Is it multi-session? Is it one of those weird hybrid ones from Mac and PC? I think it is, actually. Ugh. All right, let's try and rip this, see what we get. Yeah, so that rips. You know what? There's a non-zero chance that every time I've ever tried to rip a CDR-DAO with the Redump firmware that it has been that they might be Giants album with the pre-gap. How about I try a non-pre-gap audio CD? So we'll try the Crow here. Actually, I'm going to can this because we don't have a lot of time left. We'll just try that outright. So works with, and that was not particularly fast, but it was okay. Works with data disk. Let's see if it works with non pre-gap audio CD. By leaving soon? Yeah, the stream ends in 1 minute. It's the official scheduled time. Wow, this disc got lucky. There's a bad enough scratch on the surface that I can see the aluminum layer, but it did not manage to get through it. It's possible Flare Spire, but I don't know. I suspect it's just audio CDs that are being a pain. but we'll find out. I'm gonna give it a second to look at it. Why did that one show up? Maybe it is a pre-gap problem. Ooh, now that's interesting.
Generic sweetener says CHEER 100.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here and a line.
End of line.
Generic Sweeter, thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, all right, so it works with non-pre-gap tracks? That's super weird. Huh. All right. Okay, well, I guess it's all good then. I'm going to take this drive home because now I can mess around with the Redumper at home a lot easier. I think I'm still going to leave the OneDrive unflashed on my home desktop, though. I think that makes the most sense. But yeah, all right. So the plan for the rest of this weekend is to work on my CD ripping software. I'm currently trying to decide, though, if it's actually worth coming to the office to do it, though. So there's a chance it'll be a home stream. I might come to the office and work on it here. I don't know yet. So we'll see how that goes. Might as well go back over to here. But for today, I would say that this was a successful stream. So we managed to get 5 drives flashed with the OmniDrive firmware today. And confirmed that it does work with CDR-DAO as long as it's not a pre-gap disk, which is, I think I said something along the lines of this previously, but I'm kind of okay with the pre-gap disks causing the whole process to die. I might want to add some kind of timeout thing in it, though, where it'll just give up and continue, because it would be nice to know that there was a pre-gap disk and the software just dying on it is fine. Although it doesn't really matter because we're going to rip with Redumper, not CDR-DAO most of the time. So, yeah, I don't know. But that is it for now. So, we'll see what I decide to do tomorrow. Not sure yet. But that will be it for now. And easily enough. That one's not like a super rare disc, so that's of all the things I could have damaged. So, all right. If you guys enjoyed this stream, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. If you want to help support, I muted myself. I don't think I did. Audio back? Weird. Oh, maybe I accidentally, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that's it for now. If you guys enjoyed the stream, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. I've said that too many times now. I can just monotone, rapid fire. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon. But for now, that's it, and I will see you next time, and I don't have to order lights. That sucks. All right, bye.